Today's topic, IFRS 13, Fair Value Measurement. Enjoy! Hi guys, today I'm going to discuss with you IFRS 13, Fair Value Measurement. Now, when we talk about fair value measurement, now let's look at the definition provided by IFRS 13. So, fair value is basically the price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. So now, as highlighted here, there are several things that I wanted to discuss with you. Now, the very first thing is IFRS 13 emphasizes on the use of an exit price rather than an entry price. The second thing is orderly transaction. Now, as we know, a transaction which is considered as a forced sale will generally attract a much lower price. So the assumption that the fair value is determined based on an orderly transaction. Meanwhile, it is between market participants. So market participants over here are those that are independent to the entity, knowledgeable, able to enter into the transaction, able and willing to enter into the transaction. So IFRS 13 emphasizes on the use of market price. So these are several important points that you should take note when you measure your fair value. Now, let us start off by looking at how we determine the fair value for a financial assets. Okay, so we are going to measure the fair value of a financial assets and non-financial assets. Now, when determining the fair value of a financial or non-financial assets, the very first thing that we have to consider is the existence of a principal market. Now, bear in mind, IFRS 13 emphasizes on the use of market price. So, what should be the principal market here? Because there are a lot of market out there, so IFRS 13 requires an entity to base the market price on the principal market. So a principal market is a market with the greatest volume. So it is the market that has the highest volume. So that will be the principal market. So from here, we can come to a conclusion is that different entity may have different principal market. Now, when considering the principal market, although is referring to the greatest market with the greatest volume, however, we have to take into account, do the entity has any restriction to sell in the market. So when considering the principal market, we have to take into consideration whether do the entity has any restrictions to sell in the market. If there is such a restrictions, then that cannot be part of the market that is considered within the principal market.